this subject of religious freedom is one that has been discussed since the beginning of time, and when mankind has come to the realization that there is a spirit of being beyond them. And my brief presentation today will have three parts. I want to give you briefly my personal opinion from a Hindu perspective, what we understand religious freedom to be. And I want to deal with the contemporary issues and what are the causes of the contemporary issues, and then maybe some suggestions of how we may be able to address these issues. First of all, from a Hindu perspective, uh, we understand religious freedom to be that everyone must accept everyone else's belief. And we believe that God is everything and everything is God. And I must be free to think and relate to God as being omnipotent and omnipresent. That is, how I see God is irrelevant and should be irrelevant to you, but I must be allowed to see my God in the way I want to. And to practice religious freedom, we need to practice the ancient Hindu tradition, ahimsa. Literally translated means non injury. And that in this day and age means respect for all forms of life and see human life as most sacred gift from God. But the realities are, it is totally different from that. Now, having made those statements about Hinduism, I'm sure there are many, many more lengthy statements that can be made of what the philosophy is about religious freedom. But in essence, we're saying everyone is free to think and to relate to God the way they want to and to relate to God. The question of the current situation is that if you look back, maybe from the time of year one, if we did AD 1, is that as religions evolve from that time to now, there are certain religions and groups and faith groups who have come into the world who have decided to lay claim to God and say that He is our personal possession and He belongs only to us. And they declare that their way is the only way, and if you do not go their way, you're either heathen, you're a hypocrite, you're a barbarian, you're barbaric, or you're all kinds of other things other than human if you do not follow their way. And as such, over the ages, certain groups have continued to profess this idea and in so have conflict amongst one religious group and the other religious group. And this seems to be an ongoing evolution within the human society. Today, it is more prevalent, although we are more educated, more intelligent, more technology, more sophisticated, and we have the wisdom of the past. We continue to think, act as if we're in the dark ages because we have not changed our opinion that, you know what, we're all equal and we should have an even mind about all of ourselves. And when in Hinduism, when we say even minded, we mean that we must see the one equalizing factor in all human beings, that is the Spirit of God exists equally in all human beings. And as such, we are equal. Regardless of our caste, color, creed, or geographical references, that is the one unique factor that makes us all equal. But yet, we listen from the pulpits, from the podiums, from the political arenas. We hear people defining people by country of origin, by color of skin, by religion, or by language they speak and says, you are different, and I'm better, and you're lesser. And we continue to do this, and yet we ask the question about, is there religious freedom? The concept of religious freedom is always there. The practice of religious freedom is questionable. Going forward, how can we really address this? I had an opportunity to address this subject at other occasions, and one of the solutions that I suggested is we need to accept that God is known to all mankind based on his or her nature and the nurturing that comes after. We need to be equal minded in our human relationships. That is to see God, the divine spirit, equally in all human beings. How we might cooperate more closely with each other in addressing issues where religious freedom is being challenged is the question that we are all asking today. We must have ongoing, open, and non-partisan dialogue that will allow for a united front when any one of us are facing any form of injustice. And also, we, the faith groups, must act as a collective body that can facilitate and develop meaningful dialogue and suggestions to government agencies as to how to address issues relating to religious freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my brief presentation. I hope that in those few words that I presented to you, that although this is a massive problem, it is a very simple problem. It is all within our minds of how we treat each other. It has nothing to do with the clothing we wear or the color of our skin. It is our state of mind that determines that. And that's how small this problem is when we see it in its true sense. Thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.